We all know what it means to live green or eco-friendly, but here's the thought. What about dying green?
A new business in Lafayette is helping people do just that. Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski takes us inside the many shades of a green funeral.
No one likes to talk about death, let alone plan for it. But it's a conversation worth having because depending on what you choose, it could cost you big. A typical casket is around $2,000, but it can add up to $10,000 if you go with those fancier options. Add in embalming and other fees, and an average funeral will cost you $7,000 to $10,000. But there's another option a lot of people are considering. It's called a natural burial. They use a simple pine casket that'll cost you $600 to $800. There is no embalming or fancy headstone, so the average cost is around $2,000 to $3,000. That's less than half the cost of a traditional burial.
The grass is going to remain tall. We're going to pull weeds mechanically by hand.
It looks more like a burial straight out of the Wild West.
We leave the ground more mounded.
Than your traditional cemetery.
Kind of like a prairie feel to it.
Ending up in a pine box may seem out there.
We can generally build one in less than a day.
But in Boulder County, turning to mulch by spring is the new trend.
When a pine casket goes in the ground, it's just going to biodegrade.
Those who live green also want to die green, which is how the eco-friendly burial idea was born.
This particular one will be going to a family in Longmont. One of their loved ones' death is imminent. It's a whole new approach for end-of-life care. So we're here at our new center, the Natural Funeral Living Arts Center.
Prescott Knox's new venture.
There's a certain energy to Lafayette that we all really responded to.
In the heart of downtown Lafayette will be the first in the state to help people die naturally. A green burial means your body is placed directly into the ground, in a shroud or biodegradable box. There is no fancy headstone, concrete vault, or costly casket. Instead, they use a flat granite marker.
Embalming is quite an invasive process, very toxic to the earth.
Embalming fluid is a mixture of formaldehyde and other chemicals that can leach into the air and soil. Because of that, they use no embalming.
We will use ice and cooling tables.
And the body is treated with essential oils.
The washing with love, the taking leave of the physical remains.
Karen Van Buren is the care program coordinator.
This is lavender. Lavender is a very calming, soothing flower, and the
ready to sleep.
yeah, certainly in the atmosphere around death, if there are emotions, it's to bring those down a little bit, just to a more peaceful place.
The products they use are locally sourced and naturally made.
This is a lavender bush that I use in my products, and I clip the lavender and infuse it in organic olive oil. I'm just preparing the soil.
That's where we meet Blair Chandler on her farm in Boulder.
There's an egg in here. That's so fun. This is where I create. Everything that I make in this room is designed to support healing. These will be available at the Natural Funeral Store.
I will say I've got like maybe 55 different kinds of molds.
From here, we go to Longmont.
People like to burn candles often at funerals,
where even the candles are organic and 100% beeswax.
Now, as it goes in there, you can see all the bubbles coming off down there.
Back in Lafayette.
As you continue in, we have our counseling center, our healing center.
Once they help a family heal and hold the funeral, they can't take the body to just any cemetery.
So this is a traditional burial section here, where there's upright markers, and this is our green burial section. Our green burial section has flat markers.
Roselawn Cemetery in Fort Collins is also betting big on the natural burial concept.
We set aside about 3 acres for this for the future. As of right now, we have 8 burials and 8 people reserving spaces.
Returning to a simpler time, a more natural way to go from ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
This is a way that people can naturally go back to the earth.
Wow, I'd not heard of this.
Fascinating.
A lot of cemeteries doing this, Jen?
Not a whole lot, but there are a handful. In addition to Roselawn Cemetery that we showed you in the story, Evergreen Memorial Park also does green burials, and there are a few others, but a lot more people are starting to consider this option.
Interesting options, yes.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with us tonight.